Hello everyone out there in YouTube, welcome back. So today I'm going to be trying something different. Now, you know the story, I would think, I mentioned a few times, that I purchased from Scale Model Scenery what I thought was the whole Catenery system, but it turns out it's only the headspan. It did not include the masts, and you've seen that I've tried to scratch build my own masts, which was my original intention. Things were just taking too long and getting in the way, and I decided that because I had family coming over here to Toronto for a wedding, that I would order this and they could bring it over, saving a good few pounds in postage. And a couple of weeks went by before I looked at it, and then when I eventually did, I found out it was only the headspan. So what I'm going to do is I'll make an effort at putting one of these together, and I'll see how it matches up with the mast that I've scratch built. And if it doesn't fit correctly, I'll end up buying a set of masts, and I've already asked Scale Model Scenery to let me know what kind of package they have in terms of number of masts in a kit and how much it would be to get here to Toronto. So let's just have a look at this. So just having a look at it. This one brace here, I'm not sure if it was cut correctly on the laser or it's just come away, but I'm not sure if it's going to stay in place. Anyway, we'll try using another part. Now, the instructions here say start with the one section, which is 1, 2, 3, 4 adjoining pieces that will make up the one side of the headspan. And then you fit these braces into the assembled headspan. So we'll start with that. Now the instructions say the main girder sections are pre-scored on the faces to enable them to be easily folded into a four-sided girder, and the joint simply glued together with rocket card glue. Well, I can't find rocket card glue here in Toronto, and buying it on Amazon is quite expensive. So I'm going to try using Uhu, as I did see Jason assemble one of these low-profile warehouses using Uhu. Now the question is, which side is up and which side is down? Now they've also included what they call a jig, a lattice girder jig. I'll have to figure out how that works. Anyway, let's see if we can proceed with this. I'll maybe start with this one here, and I'll cut that out. Okay, so I'm going to be very gentle with this, as I don't want anything to go wrong. And I hope you can see exactly what's going on here. I want to be very careful that I don't cut something that I shouldn't be cutting. Yeah, it's kind of difficult in there. Yeah, you can hear the little click as I hit some of the sections where it's holding the girder in place. Yeah, you can see it just coming away there. And then it just dropped out. Get a good look at that. I mean, it's terrific, wonderful engineering and design work by Jason and his team to come up with this. It's just fantastic. And you know, just while I'm doing this, there are periods where I'm not speaking, and you know, I follow an English artist photographer called Stefan Marjoram, and he lives down around the Bristol area, and he sketches and paints cars. And you know, he's spoken about this before, trying to work on his art in a kind of tutorial fashion, but the challenge of speaking and making sense at the same time is a challenge, because you're so focused on what you're trying to do. Anyway, that's a great start, having been able to do that, and I'll move on to the next part, which is these braces. I'll cut them out and then I'll come back to you. So the instructions are to cut these sections out and install them into the girder. So once I get this folded up, or just before that, I have to take 2 of these and glue them into the folded girder headspan, and that will enable us to connect them together with some strength in the middle. So let's just see if we can get this one out. You can hear that little click. Once again, it's make sure you do it on the right side. Yeah, you really have to be patient with this. And also have a keen eye. Oh, yeah, you see. Very delicate. And easily broken, I'm afraid. I'm not really used to doing such close work. I should have had my magnifying glasses on. That would probably have helped. But we'll just keep working away at it here, and hopefully I can stay in the grooves here. There you go. It's just beginning to pop out. Yeah. Okay, so you can see there how it's come away. As I say, very delicate. So I need 2 of these cut out, and then we can begin the process of gluing it all together. So essentially, that's 1/2 of the head frame. You see here with the braces that would go down onto the masts. And you can see there, once it's folded up and glued, then the braces would transfer the load into the masts and then down into the footing. So the next step is to start gluing it together. And also just figuring out exactly how they do this using the jig. Well, I just took a minute to look at this again, and I guess that's how the jig works. Just pushing them together. And if I have a look at the frame here, that would sit like so. So that would be the top of the headspan and the two sides, and then the bottom over here. Yeah, really well thought out. I had just remembered that I had been having a conversation with Digger some time ago about the catenary system, and I've just gone into his YouTube channel and found this video that he made a couple of years ago. I think I had already subscribed.
All these things here, the overhead catenary for the running of the electric wires for the all electric trains that we seem to be getting put onto now. Now I've got this one built up. This is the kit here. This is the kit.
Anyway, it's good to see someone else put this together. It just makes it all sort of fall into place. And never having built one of the scale model scenery kits, it's always good to get an insight from another modeler. Anyway, well done, Digger. Now I'll need to get back to my own build. Just before we move on, there's the jig put together. But it's important to note that in this particular case, this side of the jig is a bit of a neat fit and has required a fair bit of pressure to make sure that it's in complete contact, that those bits are in the slots. Just make it easier when you're putting it together. As you can see, there's still a little bit of a gap on that side. This side here is okay, but you want to make sure they're lined up properly when you use the jig to put it together. You hear it cracking as it goes in. It just makes it easier. So take your time with it and make sure that it fully fits into the slots. Just about there. Pretty good. Now, I don't have the recommended glue that's shown in the video. So, as I said, I've got the Uhu, but what I notice, as soon as you open that, it begins to seep out. So you have to be very careful. Now, this is all kind of practice, and hopefully it goes okay. And doesn't fall apart. I guess there's a right way and a wrong way to do this, and it's entirely possible that, yes, it's already broken off there. Well, that's unfortunate. Yeah, it just proves you have to be extremely careful in what you're doing here. Very delicate. I think what we'll try to do is maybe, excuse me, see if I can get it come back together with just a little bit of glue. I guess that's why they give you extra pieces to try it. Well, I placed the the one headspan section into the jig and I applied glue to the one side here, and also put it in the bottom there, just to make sure that I've got a good connection. So I'll let that dry and see how it comes out. Well, they really are very delicate, and I didn't make a perfect job of that. Given that it was my first attempt, I'm grateful that they included some additional parts, but you know, I will continue with this one, and hopefully it'll look okay once I get the adjoining braces in and add the second one at the other side of it. Hopefully it'll look okay. Well, this one went together so much easier. I think the reason being was I might have folded it in the wrong direction. But while that one is drying, we'll let this one set, and then we'll put them together, and then it's job done for this part. So this, of course, is the mast that I had scratch built. Now, this was based on some dimensions that Digger was able to provide me with. I don't know, this was maybe a year ago when I was making an attempt at this. However, when I try to use it with headspan, it's not exactly correct. Not sure how closely you can see that. Yeah, you see, it's you know, I would have to put a cap plate in here. And the braces don't match up perfectly. However, I'd be able to rig something. As you can see there, it's not perfect. But you can get the idea that I was trying to come up with. Not knowing any dimensions of the system, it's pretty close, and I could jerry rig something for this particular one, and and the clearance from here to the underside, I think I'd based it on the mast sitting on top of the platform. Anyway, I'll wait until this one's completely set, then I'll join them together and see how it looks. Okay, so there is my headspan mounted on my two masts. I just need to turn this one around. So there you go. It is mounted. Now, I've made an error somewhere in that the geometry of the top cord here is different, because so that it would go like so. And I think that is the case if you look closely here. Difficult to see exactly how it should be, but maybe it's a case of getting the correct left and right arrangement. Yeah, so that one and that one I think would make a pair, as the diagonal goes up to the top here at the center, and at the other side it matches up, but we'll have to look at that a little bit more closely. Let me just put this back together. I guess I could get away with spraying this zinc grey and gluing it together, adding in a cap plate to make it easier for this to sit on either side there. And what I'll do is I'll go downstairs to the layout, and I'll put this onto the platform and see what kind of headroom I would have from here up, and maybe put a loco in there and check it. Okay, so there's my catenary system in place. Clearly it's a little bit on the short side, even though it's standing on the platform. But it gives you an idea of what it would look like and how effective it can be. So this gives me a point to move forward from, and I think it's an added feature to Partickhill Station, because it went through the same process of moving from steam directly into electric. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. I will probably glue this all together, and then I'll paint it and get it installed. Maybe add a little bit more to the base. That side is a little bit shorter, and see if I can build it up a little bit to get a little bit more clearance from the pantograph to the underside there. That's just too close, but it's very effective. And the kit itself, once you understand how the kit goes together, it is really, really very, very good. And congratulations to the guys at Scale Model Scenery for doing such a great job. The one thing I would suggest as a first-time user that you would offer a package of the headspans plus the appropriate masts as maybe an introductory in a set of maybe 4 or 6. And now I'm going to have to request a pack of masts to be sent to me here in Toronto at enormous expense, I'm afraid to say. But guys, I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial. It didn't turn out perfect, but it turned out okay for the first go, and I'm glad I did this. And yeah, thanks to Digger for giving me that information in the first instance. And we'll see you next time here at an electrified Partickhill Station. Bye for now.